The basic elements of music. Lesson 1, the music staff. This series of lessons is presented by SARAHTIM Music Publishing. My name is Stephen Hill, and I've been a teacher of instrumental music, kindergarten through 12th grade for the past 37 years. This is our series of lessons, and the first lesson, the music staff. Every lesson will have a worksheet, and so this is the one that will go with this lesson, and I will help you get started with that at the end of the lesson. The music staff, that's where the composer places all of the musical notes and information that the musician is going to look at and then try and interpret for the benefit of the composer and the audience and bring the musical performance to life. For our visual aid, we're going to use a piano keyboard because we can see lots of notes at once. It doesn't matter what instrument you play. You're going to have high sounds, middle sounds, or low sounds, but the instruments themselves in their visibility are limited in how many we can see at once. So that's why we're going to focus on the keyboard. And it's to your benefit to become very familiar with the keyboard regardless of what instrument you play. It will only help and enhance your musical growth. Okay, let me bring up the keyboard here. On the left side of the keyboard, we have the lower sounds. The mid-range sounds here in the middle, and the higher sounds up here on the right. It's on the musical staff that the composer places the information for the musician, which lets them know that they should push this key down, or this key, or they should use a certain fingering, or push certain valves down. Sticking with the keyboard here, the information they will find is music that should be fast, slow, loud, or soft. And there'll also be information that lets the musician know they're not supposed to do anything at all. They're just supposed to rest for that period of time. In music, we use a set of parallel lines. And we also make use of the space between the lines. So since we're using a piano keyboard, we're going to use lots of lines and spaces for our visual aid to see that we have to account for each key on the keyboard. So we have to have a line or space to indicate the note for each of these keys. So if we actually put note heads on each line or space, it would look something like this. If we needed low sounds, say for the tuba, string bass, we would put the note heads way down here at the bottom of this set of lines and spaces. If we needed mid-range sounds, viola, French horn, clarinet, saxophone, we would put it here in the middle. We needed higher sounds, trumpets, flutes, violins, we would place it up here. Now the dilemma. If we use all the lines and spaces at once, it's going to be too confusing for the musician. So what music history has shown us is that it's been reduced to just 5 visible lines. Notice I've just simply grayed out the other lines because they're still there. They only come into play when we need them to go beyond the limit of the 5 lines and spaces. So these 5 lines have been placed higher up on this large set of lines and spaces, and it would be for this set of instruments here. If we needed to go beyond the 5 lines, we would start making use of these invisible lines and use part of them, and those are called ledger lines, and we'll cover those at another lesson. If we needed lower sounds, say for bassoon, trombone, tuba, we would place the 5 lines down lower. We would choose the 5 lines down lower on this large set of lines and spaces. And if we needed to go beyond the limited 5 visible lines, we would use ledger lines. So the basic lesson today is just to become acquainted with the 5 lines. They are numbered from the bottom up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We also make use of the spaces, space 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we place a note head at any point on the 5 lines and spaces, we find out where it is by starting from the bottom and counting up. This particular one is found on line 1. Now this one is in a space, so that's in space 1, 2. This one is on a line, and that would be line 1, 2, 3, 4, line 4. And this one is in a space, so that's going to be space 1, 2, 3. So these are the things that a musician's going to need to get used to, because that's what's going to tell them which key to push down, which valve to push down, how to change the buzzing on their brass instrument. Okay, so you need this basic information. You need to be able to find these notes and their relation to the lines and spaces very, 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 very quickly. Okay, because the audience doesn't want to sit there while the musician sits there and counts, oh gosh, what note is that? And then I'll play it. They just want to hear the music. And so in these early stages, you need to drill yourself so that you can find these very, very quickly. So we're just starting very basically, and the lesson is to simply identify the lines and spaces. So number 1 for the worksheet, this box is sitting on line 1. Number 2, this box is sitting on line 1, and this box is sitting on line 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't be afraid to start at the bottom and count up. Give yourself a pattern to follow. Number 3, the spaces. This box is on space 1. And number 4, this box is on space 1, and this box is on space 1, 2, 3. Okay, turning your paper over the second side, you're going to practice drawing your 5-line staff freehand. But before we get there, we've given you some lines to trace over. And in number 6, we've given you a starting point and an end point, and draw as straight a line as you can. And number 7, you have no guide, so you need to draw your 5 lines. And the incurring spaces, you want those evenly spaced as best you can by drawing freehand. So draw your 5 lines with your own manuscript, and then number them from the bottom up. Lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and spaces 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the lesson on the music staff, and we'll get ready for the next lesson, which will be on lines and spaces, and there'll be more worksheets. So we'll see you in the next lesson.